start, kindly.
Tatu temania to MCAs Meru baraba supporter governor.
Let's meet here as Meru MCAs who support the governor.
Mama, no to barabangi baretere Mombasa for 15 days.
Because others went to Mombasa for 15 days. And we were denying to go with them. They said they were going for a training.
Mombasa for 15 days.
But we are having questions. Which kind of training are they going?
Thank you. We can proceed to where the current witness is speaking. For the sake of time.
We
don't know how it was planned, because if it was about all MCAs, there are no MCAs who are two sides. There is no difference between MCA who was elected and the one who was nominated. They are all Meru MCAs. But when we trying to ask the county clerk, he's saying that he was given instructions. After a kind of a discussion was done,
majority leader, minority leader.
He was advised.
You can stop there. So, Mr. Witness, what had happened during this event?
What had happened, members of the county assembly, the 56 at that time, who were in support or in opposition to the governor, had been facilitated for 15 days training in Mombasa, where they are going to be taken through the budget making process, and the 13 of us were left out without no single explanation, simply because you are supporting the governor of Meru.
So, is it your evidence that you have been punished and targeted for supporting the governor?
We have been punished, we have been ridiculed, we have been intimidated, we have been threatened, just because we decided to support the governor of Meru. That is true.
Does the governor have any working relationship with other groups within the county?
Of course, it's true she has a working relationship with other groups, maybe religious leaders, women groups, faction of Jurin Cheke, so many other groups.
Let us watch briefly VKM14.
Council, if I may interrupt you, you have less than 15 minutes. And I see on the list that you still needed to call 3 other witnesses, one including the governor. So will you be able to manage that within the 15 minutes?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. This is a very crucial witness for us. I will only take the next 3 minutes with him. Then we reserve the remaining minute for one more witness, who is the governor.
Very well.
We will drop the others. Thank you. Mr. Mawira, can we watch VKM14?
Tuombe yule mama Meru. Yule mama ameumia. Mimi hata mimi nilikuwa napinga mama. Lakini siku ile tulikaa vile aliambiwa na rais, aende akae chini na kila kiongozi, si kama walemavu wa pale, tulikaa na yeye chini na tulizaelewa mama. Na mama akakubali kufanya kazi na walemavu. Kwa hivyo nataka kuomba walemavu wote Kenya na wale viongozi tuko nao hapa, hata hao wa Nairobi, mjaribu kutuombea Meru. Watu wote waheshimu sheria na waheshimu katiba. Wajua hata kama kuna kimila Meru, kuna naye sheria ilipitizwa 2010 ya kusema mama, uwe mwanaume, uwe nani, sisi zote ni iko. Hakuna mchichana, hakuna kijana, hakuna mama, hakuna mwanaume. Lakini kwetu Meru, ile kimila tu inaendelea pale. Wale viongozi wote Kawira alianguza wakati wa kuomba kura 2022. Hata mimi nijua mmoja wao. Hatusikiangi vizuri kama tunaongozwa na mama. Lakini mimi nimetii. Nimejua mama ndio kiongozi wa pale Meru, na alichaguliwa na watu, na alichaguliwa na independent. Kwa hivyo nataka kumuomba rais, nataka kumuomba Raila, nataka kumuomba Musalia, Nataka kuomba Gachagua, mjue msiposikilia akina mama aswa Meru, msiposikilia huyo mama ataanguzwa. Watu wengi wanasema county to dissolve county. Utadissolve county aje na mama alichaguliwa na watu? Huyu mama alichaguliwa na independence. Ana chake, ana mtu wake. Wale matajiri akina Kiraito, akina Metheka Lentore, akina Munya, akina MP wote wanaume wanasikia ni aibu sana kuinamia mama. Lakini wacha niwape example. Mimi ni mlemavu. Mimi ndio nilikuwa mtu wa kwanza kupigana na mama juu ya kimila. Lakini juzi tulienda kotini, tulisomewa sheria. Kwa sababu naamini sheria na naheshimu katiba ya Kenya. Mimi nakuinamia mama Kawira Mwangaza. Nimeserenda.
Thank you.
Nataka kuomba
we can proceed just for a few more minutes.
Viongozi, wajua kwa nini nacheka wa Kenya? Wa Meru, viongozi wetu hawajaamini kuita Kawira Mwangaza kama ni kazi rahisi, wanaona ni kazi ngumu. Wanafikiria wakimpiga through bunge. Kwa sababu MCA wetu wanachangiwa, hata mimi nilikuwa nachanga. Na niko na evidence. Tunawachangia MCA, wao wanapewa pesa mpaka tutoe mama. Hatuwezi ongozwa na mama, ndivyo wanasema. Kwa hivyo nataka kuomba Wakenya hivi na viongozi wetu, wacha tuheshimu huyu mama, ndio alichaguliwa. Nyinyi mko na chama, tuko na chama PNU imesimamiwa na Munya. Tuko na chama PNO inasimamiwa na Mporo wa Bori. Tuko na chama Mbasi inasimamiwa na Kiraito Murongi. Tuko na UDA inasimamiwa na Rigathi, inasimamiwa na Ruto, inasimamiwa na Kadhuri Murongi, inasimamiwa na Metheka Lentore. Tuko na chama inaitwa Azimio yenye iko na Jubilee, inasimamiwa na Jeremia Kioni. Mimi ile kitu naomba kwa hizi chama zote, muite watoto wenu wale mulipeleka mbunge ya Meru yenye haina mlemavu, muwaite muwaambie gavana ni mama. Kwa sababu tusiposema hivyo, Meru hata mkidissolve saa hii, mseme tumedissolve county ya Meru, vita itaisha. Kwa sababu wa Meru, yule Mmeru kamili, hata saa hii Mungu anajua, hata Kiraito anajua, Metheka anajua, Munya anajua. Hata tukirundi kwa ndebe saa hii, Kawira atapigwa 400,000 na Mmeru yule wa kawaida. Kwa sababu watu wanaona kazi ya huyu mama, wanaona mama hana vita na mtu yoyote, lakini mara
we can stop there now. We will play it shortly, but Mr. Witness, tell us your summary of the charges that are before the Senate. You have a time to go through the motion of impeachment now and back then in 2023 rather. What are the basis of these charges?
Because I've been present in that assembly since the first impeachment process, what I would like to tell this Honorable Senate, Honorable Speaker, is that the impeachment process has been abused in Meru County Assembly, and it has been weaponized to fight political fights, whereas we know that impeachment should be used sparingly. It should be a measure of the last resort whenever that there are violations of the Constitution and other laws. And therefore, it's my humble submission that the Senate vindicates the governor of Meru from objectivity of the charges that are there, because according to me, the charges are malicious and they are also frivolous in nature.
Do we have specific charges? One of the charges is employing a bloated workforce.
Yes.
Was that a charge that you brought before this Senate last impeachment?
It was.
You have a charge that accuses the governor of dismissing certain employees of boards, one of them being Mr. Mwaki. Is that a charge that you brought and prosecuted before the Senate during the last motion?
It was part of the motion.
There is a specific charge where the governor is accused of misconduct by stating that 86 million shillings was raised in support of the burial of the blogger, Mr. Sniper. What would you say about that specific charge?
Because I was privy to the happenings behind the whatever was happening during the demise of one blogger, Mudiani, I think the governor didn't allude to a specific collection of money because there were several fundraisers that were held in support of that family.
Are you aware of any other forms of fundraising that were done? Did you participate in any yourself?
Yes, personally I participated in the one that was conducted by members of the county assembly, where initially we contributed 1,000 each member, the 59 members who were then opposing the governor, and later we contributed 10,000 each for the same. And also other political leaders contributed to that cause.
By political leaders, who are you referring to? And in your estimation, how much money was raised? And I'm also sorry to ask this, what is the status of that kitty, if you're aware of, and how was it utilized?
The one for the assembly was utilized in conducting the road shows across crisscross in Meru, and other monies were used to hold prayers in various stadiums, as we have seen, Kenoru, Maua, and others. And by the time I left that group where the fundraising was being held, we had not been accounted for the remainder of the money.
So, when the governor states that to the tune of 86 million might have been raised, is it anywhere near the truth in your estimation, having participated in the fundraisings in various modes?
It will be the truth.
Thank you. I think I will rest this witness and hand him over to cross-examination. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, sir, we'll be very brief with this witness. Mr. Witness, confirm that you moved the motion for impeachment last time, yes?
Yes, I confirm.
And that you live by the statements that you have indicated in your affidavit that you have testified to, yes?
Sorry?
And that you confirm and want to rely on the affidavit that you have filed?
Yes, I confirm.
And that you remember on the 7th of November 2023, you took the same stand and testified before this assembly as a mover, correct?
Yes, I confirm.
And you remember a question was put to you whether or not the impeachment then was politically instigated, correct?
Yes.
Do you recall your answers?
I may not recall the exact answer.
I'll give you the answer. Honorable Speaker, I'm referring to the answers of this House at page 53, dated 7th of November. Mr. Mudhombi Thionkulu was the lead counsel then, correct?
Yes.
And you remember him putting this question to you, and you answered in negative, that it was not politically instigated. You remember? You recall or you do not recall, Mr. Witness?
I don't recall. Read for me the answer, maybe.
You remember Mr. Mudhomi asking you whether it is true from the governor's allegations that the impeachment was politically instigated, and your answer was Evans Mawera Kaaria. You said it was not true. Have I now refreshed your memories?
From the records, yes.
Do you still want to hold that preposition?
Of course, everything that was in that motion was not substantiated.
Excuse me, Mr. Witness, I want a yes or a no answer. Do you still want to hold that preposition, or you want to run away from it?
As of then, I hold that position.
You hold that position?
Yes.
What has now changed?
So many things.
The one, that you are no longer the leader of the majority in the assembly.
No.
Yes. Number two?
The governor reached out and called for reconciliation. I did a lot of soul searching.
Thank you.
I consulted widely.
It's okay, don't answer questions that I have not put to you. You have testified at length how people were induced to bring that particular motion, correct?
Yes, and I've stated the facts.
That is a motion that you brought on the 7th of November, correct?
Yes.
So you brought motion out of ulterior motives of being induced as at then, correct?
According to the circumstances then.
You allowed yourself to be induced, yes?
As per the circumstances then.
So on that day when you took the stand on the 7th of November 2023, you did not speak the truth to this at Senate, but you spoke out of inducement, correct?
I'm saying
correct or not correct? I want an answer, not a vague answer. Correct or not correct?
Not correct.
So then, were you induced that particular time from your evidence?
I've narrated all the events that led to
one of the events, Mr. Witness, was that you are induced, correct? One of the events is that you are induced.
I didn't say you are induced. I said you are mobilized according to party lines.
How were you mobilized?
Of course, I stated that we met as the leadership of
financial gains, correct? Including 20,000 shillings that you were given, correct?
That was later, after the second
Christmas gift, correct?
After the second impeachment that failed in the Senate.
You remember the Christmas gift, yes?
I'm saying later, after the second impeachment that failed in the Senate.
You received a gift?
Yes.
For the work well done, correct?
A Christmas gift for a work well done. Christmas was not even, Christmas was oncoming.
So, Mr. Witness, if you allowed yourself to be induced that particular time to bring that particular impeachment motion, how truthful is your statement today?
I was not induced. I said you are mobilized on party lines.
On party lines?
Yes.
So which party do you belong to?
UDA.
UDA?
Yes.
So UDA mobilized its MCAs to bring the motion?
UDA at the county level, Meru county level, mobilized the MCAs to introduce an impeachment motion.
Does that mean that the UDA party is against the governor or was against the governor?
I stated in my statement.
Does that mean at that particular time the UDA party was against the government?
At the county level, yes. Nationally, the Secretary General had stated that that was not a party position.
Which other party was against the governor as at then?
The parties that were mobilized, we have BAS party, we have PNU, we have Jubilee, and other assembly parties.
You spoke about receiving 80,000 shillings. You correct? You remember?
Facilitation to be in the Senate.
Who gave these 80,000 shillings?
It was paid from the assembly.
It was paid from the assembly. Did you receive or did you partake of it?
Yes, I received.
And it was a motivation for it to appear, correct?
It was facilitation to be in the Senate for the 5 days that you are here.
A facilitation?
Yes.
Today, have you been facilitated?
I was saying that we have received a message.
Today, have you been facilitated?
Facilitation, yes, we have been facilitated, but it has not already been paid. But it will be paid because we have received a message from the clerk saying that members will be facilitated for 5 days to be in the Senate.
Notwithstanding whether or not you appear for Governor Kawira as a witness or the witness for the Senate, for the Assembly.
Witness for the governor.
The County Assembly has equally facilitated you, correct?
I will receive that message.
That you'll receive your per diems for participating?
Yes, yes.
So it was usual for the County Assembly to facilitate its members?
The previous one, only 59 members were facilitated.
It is usual for the County Assembly to facilitate its members, correct? Because today you have received a message that you receive facilitation, correct?
Yes, we have received the message.
And therefore the County Assembly considers its members as equal, correct?
No, no, no.
Mr. Witness, I want to refer you to your affidavit. But before I refer you to this affidavit, have you critically read the motion before this assembly for the impeachment of the governor?
I've gone through the motion.
Have you answered those allegations in your affidavit? And if yes, kindly point to us the particular paragraph that answers to the allegations.
The particular allegations?
Excuse me, just take your affidavit, take it.
Yeah,
and lead the Senate to the particular paragraph that has responded to issue number 1. Issue number 1, where have you responded?
Just a minute. I've responded to the issue of money that was raised for the...
Not the money that was raised, the issue of illegal revocation. Where have you responded to it in your affidavit?
I've not responded to it in that affidavit.
You have not responded to it. Issue number 2, where have you responded to it?
I've stated.
Do you know what issue number 2 is all about?
Yes, yes.
Show us the particular paragraph that responds to those allegations.
Number 23.
Paragraph 23.
Yes, paragraph 23.
Read it out.
That the clerk of the assembly, under the instructions of the speaker, has been writing several letters to frustrate the approval of the governor's nominees for the boards of various semi-autonomous government agencies. The clerk has no role.
Do you have evidence in that respect?
It is in the governor's baduri.
Were you aware of this frustration by the clerk before you came to this assembly?
Yes, I was aware, because when those...
aware, thank you.
Yes.
Did you take any actions to curtail these frustrations?
Yes, I did.
What did you do?
When these letters came...
Where is the evidence in your affidavit?
It is not
what
in the affidavit, but personally I gave my opinion in a meeting discussing these nominees.
Mr. Witness, please listen.
Yes,
I'm not asking you to give us your opinion. You have given so many of them, so we do not want to entertain any further opinion.
Okay.
We want to go to the facts.
Okay.
Where have you pleaded in your affidavit that you took actions against the clerk for frustrating the works of the governor?
I didn't take any action against the clerk, but I have responded to that count number 2.
Yes?
I didn't take any action, but in my affidavit I have responded to that.
In your affidavit where you have responded to issue number 3.
And I have the affidavit.
And I put it to you that issue number 3, now 23, does not respond to the allegations contained in the notice of motion, issue number 2.
Sorry?
I put it to you that paragraph 23 of your affidavit is not a response and is not evidence that relates to the allegations of failing to appoint chairpersons.
I don't agree to that.
Let us go to issue number 3 and point us in your affidavit where you have responded to it.
I have not responded to issue number 3.
Thank you. Let us go to issue number 4. Point us in your affidavit where you have responded to it.
I've responded to it where I stated that I'm aware that count was initially in the previous impeachment motions.
Where in your paragraph? And is the issue in illegal dismissing about the issue of dismissing or the issue of the expenditure of county money? The governor dismissing individuals and making the county accrue unnecessary resources paid to the litigants. Did you understand?
If I can read the crowd, it's illegally dismissing in bold.
Yes?
In bold.
And
illegally dismissing.
Yes.
And then narration continues.
As a consequence of?
Illegally dismissing.
And as a consequence thereof, what happened?
A loss.
A loss of how much?
4 million.
Where is that in your affidavit?
I've said I responded. It's not in my affidavit.
It's not in your affidavit.
Yes.
Let us go to issue number, count number 2, gross misconduct. Yes? Deliberately misleading the county, the members of the public. Yes? That's in the body of Sniper, 86 million was raised, correct?
Yes.
You are aware of those utterances, correct?
Yes, I'm aware.
That the same were done by the governor, yes?
Yes, I'm aware.
And that it was done in public, correct?
Yes.
And that there was a pay bill that was generated for that purposes, yes?
Yes.
And that in the said pay bill, it's only 516,000 that was donated, correct?
According to the Assembly's evidence.
According to the Assembly's evidence.
Yes.
Do you have any contra evidence to that averment?
Yes, in my statement I've stated.
Please lead us to that paragraph.
I'm not aware of that.
You're not aware. Kindly, let's play video 1A and 1B in our videos. You yourself, did you changa to that particular pay bill?
Yes, no, not to the pay bill.
How did you changa?
Through the WhatsApp group created for the Assembly members.
How was the money collected?
It was collected through a member of the Assembly.
Through a member of the Assembly?
Yes.
Through who? Which member?
Member of a county assembly known as Sarah Gaki, Honorable Saragaki.
Is it true that the wife of the deceased sniper moved on with an MCA?
I'm not aware.
Did you see her testifying yesterday?
I didn't watch the...
Are you aware that she was a witness?
Sorry?
Are you aware that she was a witness?
Yes, I'm aware she was a witness.
Did you follow through her evidence?
I didn't follow.
All right. As we wait for the playing of those videos, you have indicated before this assembly that one of the frustration that you colluded to undertake was to make sure that the governor was frustrated in the feeding program, correct?
Yes.
And that frustration was actualized according to your evidence, correct?
Yes.
How was it actualized?
Through a motion in the assembly, a report of a committee.
Through a motion, correct?
Yes.
So it is in your evidence that that program is no longer running, correct?
It was stopped.
It was stopped. Mr. Witness, I refer you and I refer the senators to our further bundle of volume 6, at page 83. At page 83.
Yes.
Kindly look at the entry where we have the votes, correct? Can you see them?
Yes, I can see the votes.
Vote 22-11-015. Can you see it?
Yes.
Confirm that this is a Meru County budget estimate for the year ended, for the year 2024-2025.
It is.
Confirm that you participated in this process, correct?
I did participate.
And that you are aware of the allocations and apportionment, correct?
I'm aware.
And therefore you want to read with us about that particular vote, yes?
Yes.
What does it provide?
Food and rations feeding program.
How much has been allocated?
54 million.
54 million, yes?
Yes.
For which financial year?
2023, 2024.
What was the purpose of the allocation?
The feeding program.
Thank you. Was it approved?
It was approved by the assembly.
Has this year budget also been approved?
This year's budget has been approved.
Thank you. Let's go to the next one about the cows. It is your evidence that the county assembly has colluded to frustrate the governor's programs, correct?
Yes, please.
Let us look at page 79 of the same bundle. Honorable Senators, we look at the vote end written 31-11-302-00001. Can you see it?
Sorry, come again.
Can you see that vote end? That vote end?
Yes, yes.
Can you see it?
Yes.
Again, confirm that these are the financial year 2024-2025.
Sorry?
Confirm that these are budget for 2024-2025 approved.
Yes.
And that the county assembly has approved that budget, correct?
Yes, it has been approved.
And that even 2024, 2023, 2024, the same was approved, correct?
But you saying it's the budget for the 2024-2025, there's nothing that has been approved for that vote.
Yes. What was the reason for failure to approve?
Because the assembly halted the program.
On the failure to have policies, correct?
Yes.
Is there a policy that exists in that respect?
It was introduced in the assembly, and the assembly
is there a policy
to approve.
that exists in that respect?
I'm saying the policy was introduced in the assembly by the CC Agriculture, and the assembly failed to approve that policy.
Is it mandatory for the assembly to approve anything or everything?
That was the requirement that they had, the recommendation in the report.
Are you aware that that policy was rejected through the public participation?
No, it was not subjected to public participation.
So the county assembly must at always time act according to the demands as they come, according to your evidence, correct?
Sorry?
The county assembly must always pass anything without scrutiny, correct? Even without looking at the viability of the project, correct?
It has to look at the viability and...
Thank you. Confirm to us that you have responded to the issue count number 3 on abuse of office. Have you? And if yes, point us to that evidence.
Under abuse of office, I've responded to count number paragraph 10.
Yes, paragraph 10.
Employing a bloated workforce of at least 111 personal staff. Yes. And I indicated my affidavit that it was...
Paragraph 10.
Yes, I indicated my affidavit that it was...
Paragraph 10. Can you read out paragraph 10?
Employing a bloated workforce of at least...
Paragraph 10 of your affidavit.
I didn't say paragraph 10 of my affidavit, but let me see.
I've asked you whether you've responded to paragraph 10.
Yes, I've responded to... I'm saying, Council, I've responded to count number 3 in paragraph 10, employment of a bloated workforce.
Where is that in your affidavit?
Just a minute.
That's what I want you to show us.
Paragraph 22 of my affidavit.
Read it out.
That I'm also aware that the current impeachment motion features some issues which were also in the previous motions in the Senate, and the Senate finding the allegations unsubstantiated and not meeting a threshold of impeaching a governor. The issue of bloated workforce and alleged illegal dismissal of Dr. Ntriti and 3 others was in the failed motion.
Do you work in the county executive?
No.
How did you conclude on the question of the bloated workforce?
We brought it here and it was not substantiated. We couldn't prove it.
Did you call out for any statement from the responsible organ of the county government?
My work ended when I brought it to the Senate and it was not substantiated.
Did you not? Did you call for any oversight over that issue when you went back to the county assembly?
I didn't.
You didn't. You have alleged that individuals were called somewhere in Mombasa. Were you in attendance?
I've alluded to 2 meetings in Mombasa. One I was in attendance, the other one I was not.
Which one were you in attendance?
Immediately after the second impeachment.
Immediately after the second impeachment?
Yes.
Who was paying for your allowances?
County Assembly of Meru.
Is it unusual or usual for the county assembly to do that?
It is not unusual.
Thank you. Finally, Mr.
What was unusual was the activities?
I am satisfied with your answer. Mr. Witness, that county spend money in accordance to
the budgetary allocations
and prudence, correct?
Yes.
Have you looked at issue number 11 in our motion? And to that effect, do you want Kiambi Christus Manyara?
I'm there.
You know Kiambi Christus Manyara?
He's not personally known to me.
Have you ever heard of him?
I think case for hearing case for one.
In what circumstances was the name being mentioned?
That he was an accused person.
He was an accused person. In which matter?
Involved in that matter.
In that matter. Do you know of somebody called Supu?
Yes, Supu is well known to me.
How do you know him?
He's a personal friend.
Do you know where?
And we come from the same locality.
Do you know where he was working or where he works?
According to my knowledge, I'm not aware of where he works because he has always told me that he's not employed.
You are aware that he works in the office of the governor, yes?
I'm not aware.
I therefore put it to you that he does work in the office of the governor.
I can't accept that one.
Equally, have you seen that from that allegation that this one Crispus Kiambi Manyara,
sorry?
While he was in custody, he was being paid his full salary?
I'm not aware if he's in custody.
Read the allegations. Read them out.
Paying Kiambi Crispus Manyara, a public communication officer in the office of the governor, his full salary and benefits while in remand and despite being accused of murder, contrary to section 4.2 of the Public Service Commission Discipline Manual for the Public Service.
You're aware that he was arrested pursuant to that murder, correct?
Yes.
And that he was remanded, correct?
I'm not aware of that.
I therefore put it to you that he was remanded and that while in remand, he was accruing all his full salary.
That is your evidence, Counsel.
That's our evidence. Have you controverted it in your affidavit?
Yes. I can doubt because there's no...
You cannot doubt what I am telling you unless you have a contra evidence.
Is your word against mine, Counsel?
Where is your word?
It's nowhere in the affidavit, but I'm stating it now.
It's nowhere in your affidavit?
Yes.
I told you, or I put to you, or I asked you whether you know one Supu.
Yes, I...
2 of our evidence. Can you see page 443?
Number 1, yes.
Do you know, can you read out that name?
Vincent Muredi.
Vincent Muredi?
Yes.
First of all, who is the originator of that document?
The acting secretary, Meru. The acting secretary, Meru Public Service Board 1, Virginia Kawira.
And it's an internal memo, correct?
Yes.
And the internal memo speaks to the appointments of contractual employees in the office of the governor, correct?
They do.
And therefore, whatever appears therein is a list of those individuals who works there in the office, correct?
That is true.
And that Vincent Muredi of ID number that works as an assistant director in that office, correct?
That is true, according to the memo.
That is Vincent Muredi alias Supu, correct?
Yes.
Let us play that video. And you know, as we await, that the said Supu and Manyara at page 428 of our bundle, volume 2, sorry, 429, I beg your pardon, of volume 2, contains the information of the individuals who are charged with the murder of one sniper, correct?
Yes, correct.
And you can see accused number 1 is Vincent Muredi Karemi, alias Supu, correct?
True.
Number 2 is who?
Murangeri Kenneth Guantai alias Tali.
Do you know him?
Personally, no.
Do you know that that is the governor's brother?
According to you.
Let us look at number 2, number 3.
Boniface Kileji alias DJ Kaboom.
Number 4.
Christas Manyara alias Chris.
Christas Manyara alias?
Chris.
And that is the Christas Manyara who works in the office of the governor, correct?
The one that you have seen is working in the office of the governor is Vincent Muredi Kirimi.
Let's look at that as
wale ambao wanazunguka na mwili wakisema haki ipatikane, si haki ipatikane, wako katika siasa na biashara. Ile ni biashara yao.
Do you know whom she was referring to as?
In this video?
Yes.
I'm not aware of the specific people because it was a group of people.
Would it have been the mover of the motion?
Maybe yes, because members of the county assembly were there.
Could it have been you?
Personally, I was not there.
Okay. Let's proceed.
Wameweka pay bill, wanachukua pesa, wanajaza mafuta kwa MCA, zingine wanakula. Huyo mama ambaye anachangiwa pesa wakisema ni haki kwa sniper. Kitu ya kwanza tunataka ajengewe nyumba ya ghorofa. Number 2, anunuliwe Prado. Number 3, afunguliwe trust fund ya education ya watoto wake. Kama wajafanya hiyo, hawa ni wakora na wezi wameibia huyo mama kupitia hiyo familia. Ni makatero na ni biashara na
okay, proceed.
Siasa ya bure. Na matapeli. Hiyo wamefungua kama biashara, wanakuja kusanya pesa, wamechukua huyo mama, wamemficha kwa MCA fulani anakaa hapo, wanazunguka na mwili. Ingelikuwa ni mmoja wao wangefanya namna hiyo. Ingelikuwa ni mtoto wao wangemzungusha mwezi mzima. Lakini kwa sababu wanataka pahali watajijenga kisiasa, wanataka pahali watakulia maana wamesota. Nilisikia wakisema ya kwamba hawana pesa kwa mifuko wanatembea na OB. Sasa wamepata njia ya kutembea na pesa kwa mfuko kupitia maiti. Hiyo ya kutembea na mwili wa sniper ni mambo mawili peke yake. Biashara na siasa. Hakuna justice wanatafuta. Wangelikuwa wanatafuta justice, watoto wangapi wamekufa Meru? Watoto wangapi wamepotea Meru? Huko Ndumo Runa huko upande wa Tigania wangapi wanakufa? Mbona hatujaona hao viongozi wakitembea wakisema ya kwamba tunahitaji haki ya vijana wetu ambao wanakufia? Why this one? Why huyu peke yake? Kuna MC ambaye aliuawa na ikasemekana sijui nani amemuua. Mbona tukiona hii ni siasa na biashara? Na wamelaaniwa wanaozunguka na huo mwili. Wamelaaniwa. mtu ambaye ni mshtakiwa the key suspect mkuu ambaye ni Supu.
Have you heard what the governor has said?
Yes.
What has he said?
Supu. She mentioned Supu.
Mshtakiwa, mstuhumiwa,
anaye daiwa.
Play it again.
Mtu ambaye ni mshtakiwa the key suspect mkuu.
The chief
suspect.
Who is the chief suspect?
Supu.
Has that Supu been charged before the court of law?
Yes.
Proceed.
Paya ni Supu. Mnahitaji kuangalia mtu mmoja tu wa governor mwenye alipigia simu ama wengine wengi ambaye pia
Have you had a owning up that mnafaa mtafute mtu mmoja wa governor? Have you had that statement? Listen carefully.
Play it again.
Just play it again for him and please listen carefully.
The key suspect mkuu ambaye ni Supu. Mnahitaji kuangalia mtu mmoja.
Just the time.
No, one moment. Senator Mtata, what is your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, sir, my point of order is that this matter is live before a court of law under criminal proceedings, and I think we should exercise a lot of precaution and deference to the court process, because I think that we are beginning to tread into the area of testing the evidence and the witnesses in that matter, which is not before this court, and that is, I think, sub judice for the rule of law.
Mr. Speaker, so we can then abandon it and go to the next clip, 214. The same clip at 214, minute 214. The same clip, minute 214.